I'm Jay Jones, and I'd like to talk to those who are rioting or protesting across the country recently for or against, Michael Brown and or Darren Wilson in the recent aftermath of what happened with the juries and no indictment clause or no indictment ruling of Darren Wilson and everything like that. And honestly, I really don't care what happened after that. Michael Brown died. Let's be honest, he died. And that's bad on any court. Whether or not he deserved it is not even a question right now. The fact is that the man died. He was shot dead. And I understand how people are angry about that, and I understand how even more pissed they are about, the fact that they are not going to indict Mr. or Officer Wilson on any charges against what he did to Michael Brown. And that's either fine or horrible, depending on who you are. One thing that I don't condone, and I saw it too much lately, is the fact that there was so much looting and rioting and just tearing down and completely destroying property. Hell, there's even a thing going on right now that says, no justice, no profits. And look, I know you're angry, but there is no need for all this violence. None. You ruin people's lives. You ruin people's livelihoods. You ruin people's dreams of running businesses. And not just, McDonald's or O'Reilly Auto Parts or other, nationally owned chains. Those can rebuild over time. They have the money to do that. Some people don't have the money to rebuild. Those businesses that were owned by local people that lived in that area don't have the opportunity to rebuild the way that, say, any corporation does. All the rioting, all the looting, all that shit, all that caused was more anger, more fear, more disdain. And it doesn't, it helps nobody. It helps nobody. It's nothing more than just an excuse. The whole protest was nothing more than an excuse for those to go out and riot. And that's not cool. People, I know you have strong opinions for or against Michael Brown. Whatever, I get that. That's fine. And I know there hasn't been much looting after what happened on Monday night. And yeah, we can sit here and question whether or not it was a good idea to reveal these results at 8 at night. We can sit here and debate whether or not the grand jury did or did not do whatever they should or should not have done in the case. Hell, there's questions about whether or not the evidence was taken care of properly. There's so many questions around this case, it's not even funny. That's not what I'm even worried about. That'll be a second video somewhere else. But in the meantime, I'm here to address those who think that protests equals riots and looting and setting fires to things, ruining businesses, ruining people's lives, not killing them, per se, killing their dream, breaking their hearts. For those of you who did protest quiet, or protest calmly with a cool head, I applaud you. People have opinions, and that's the great thing about this country. People have opinions, and if we continue to speak our mind, let the words express how we feel, we can make progress. I'm not doing this on a racial note. I'm not doing this to side with Michael Brown, to side with what's his name, Darren Wilson. I'm not siding with either one. I've seen enough. I have my own opinion on this. If people really want to know my opinion, you can send me a comment on this video, or send me a message on Facebook, Twitter, right down here. Whatever. That's fine, but I'm not doing this politically. I'm not doing this racially. I'm doing this out of common sense. If something like this happens again, where there's such a major deal on, be it what happened in such a case that's somewhat similar to Michael Brown, or if there's a Supreme Court decision that pisses everybody off, or if there's a vote that is really unpopular that causes a lot of protests, something like this where there's a lot of protesting. For those of you who like to protest and speak your mind, that's great. For those of you who continue to just speak your mind and actually do positive things, that's great, and I applaud you. For those of you who think this is a great excuse to go looting, it's bad. You're doing nothing but make things worse. Period. You're doing nothing more than making things that seemed okay seem a lot worse. And you ruin lives because of it. I hope you're proud of yourselves, because you just shamed a lot of people who wanted peace. We urged peace. There was so much urgency for peace. And some people can't hold their anger back. That's fine. Find other constructive means to do so. Take positive action to where things like, say, Michael Brown's situation, or Trayvon Martin's situation, or any other situation for that matter, doesn't happen again. So, like I said, this isn't a rant because I can't believe that officer didn't get indicted, or I can't believe that, Michael Brown has been seen as a victim or whatever. I'm not seeing any of that. My opinion is completely different from what I'm talking about here. My focus is on those who decided that protesting and speaking their mind wasn't enough. Might as well go ahead and set fire to things, take cars out. And, I'm not saying everyone did that. Let's be clear. I'm not saying everyone did that. A lot of people kept the peace and did speak their mind, and that's fine. That's the great thing about our country. But it's those of you who actually stood out there and said, you know what, I think it's a great idea to, I'm going to burn this place down to show them how I feel. It's not how you do it. It isn't. You can't justify that. Businesses were lost. People's livelihoods were either lost or in jeopardy. And it could have been prevented. It could have been prevented. So, with that in mind, I just want y'all to understand that. And that's how I feel. I could have saved this for an episode of jjlunfiltered. I could have saved this for, something else. I could have just written this down. But no, I wanted this to be separate from everything else. And like I said, these are my own personal opinions from what I've seen in all the coverage, not just one network, but multiple sources. It's wrong. Seriously, think twice before you do something like that. Because quite frankly, that could have been your business, or your favorite place to go to, or something like that. Think about that the next time you want to do something stupid like that.